Feng Shui can take you from poor to rich. In the ancient and mysterious world of metaphysics, hidden beneath layers of esoteric symbols and complex calculations, there lies a secret that real estate agents, architects, and even highly paid professional inspectors will never tell you. It is a method of testing the energy of a home that is more accurate than any digital compass you can buy online, more sensitive than any expensive EMF meter used by ghost hunters, and far more honest than any human consultant you could ever hire. It is a method that relies on a creature that has walked the line between the physical and spiritual worlds for thousands of years, a creature revered by the ancient Egyptians as a god, feared by the superstitious during the Dark Witch trials of Europe, and cherished by mystics and healers across the globe. Talking, of course, about the cat. If you want to know instantly, viscerally, and without a shadow of a doubt whether a house has good Feng Shui or bad Feng Shui, whether it is a sanctuary of abundance that will nurture your dreams or a trap of misfortune that will drain your bank account, simply bring a cat with you. This is not a superstition, this is biology meeting energy in its purest, most primal form. We often forget that humans, for all our intelligence, smartphones, and technology, are actually quite dull in our sensory perceptions. We have evolved to ignore the subtle signals of our environment in favor of screens, logic, and social conditioning. We have lost our primal connection to the earth. We walk into a room and look at the surface minus level details, the fresh coat of agreeable gray paint, the gleaming hardwood floors, the high cathedral ceilings, and the panoramic view from the window. We think, this is beautiful. This is a good investment. I can see myself living here. But we miss the invisible layer. We miss the magnetic fields shifting beneath the foundation like restless tectonic plates. We miss the geopathic stress lines slicing through the master bedroom like invisible lasers. We miss the stagnant pockets of ki accumulating in the dark corners like dust bunnies. Perhaps most dangerously, we miss the heavy remnants of emotional trauma, the grief, anger, or violence left behind by previous inhabitants. These energies hang in the air like smoke, invisible to us, but suffocating to our spirits. But a cat, misses nothing. Their sensory perception operates on a frequency that we can barely comprehend. In Chinese Feng Shui, we consider the cat to be a creature of pure yin sensitivity. They are like living, breathing tuning forks, vibrating in harmony or dissonance with their surroundings. When a cat enters a space, it is not just looking at the furniture arrangement, it is reading the vibrational signature of the atmosphere, scanning the unseen spectrum of reality for threats and safe havens. Let me share a personal story that forever changed how I view these enigmatic animals and their critical role in our lives. Years ago, I had a close friend, let's call him Mark. Mark was a wealthy entrepreneur, a man of science and logic, a Silicon Valley type who lived by data and spreadsheets. He was very skeptical of anything woo or spiritual. He didn't believe in Feng Shui at all. He thought it was nonsense for gullible people. He was in the market for a new home and found a stunning, modern villa in the prestigious Hollywood Hills. It was expensive, luxurious, and visually perfect, with floor minus to minus ceiling glass windows, a smart home system, and an infinity pool overlooking the city lights. He was ready to sign the contract. The pen was practically in his hand. But he had a cat named Luna, a beautiful, sleek black cat with piercing green eyes that he took everywhere. Luna was usually a calm, confident traveler, accustomed to luxury cars and hotels. On the day of the final inspection, Mark brought Luna along, mostly just because he was planning to move her anyway and wanted to see where her high-minus tech litter box would fit in the laundry room. What happened next was chilling, a scene that played out like a horror movie and one I will never forget. The moment he opened the massive, custom-made oak front door and put Luna's carrier down on the polished marble floor, the atmosphere shifted. She began to growl a low, guttural, vibrating sound I had never heard from her before. It wasn't a sound of annoyance or hunger, it was a sound of primal threat deep from her throat. When he unzipped the carrier door, instead of walking out curiously as she usually did to inspect her new kingdom, she retreated to the absolute back of the carrier, pressing herself into the plastic mesh, hissing violently at the empty, sun-drenched living room. Mark tried to coax her out with her favorite salmon treats, shaking the bag. She wouldn't move. She wouldn't even look at the food. Her eyes were dilated, fixed on something in the center of the room. Finally, thinking she was just being stubborn or carsick, he physically pulled her out. Luna immediately flattened herself against the floor as if the air itself was heavy and crushing her, ears pinned back flat against her skull, tail puffed up to twice its size like a bottle brush. She didn't explore. She didn't sniff. She scrambled frantically, claws skittering on the expensive marble floor, desperate to get back out the front door. She was terrified of something we could not see. Mark laughed it off, saying she was just stressed from the winding car ride up the canyon. He ignored the sign. He trusted the view more than the cat. He bought the house. 6 months later, the tragedy unfolded. Mark's business collapsed overnight due to a frivolous lawsuit he never saw coming. His health deteriorated rapidly. He developed chronic insomnia, waking up at 3 a.m. every night with his heart racing, covered in sweat, and suffered from unexplained anxiety that crippled his ability to work. The house felt cold, no matter how high he turned up the heat. He eventually moved out, selling the dream house at a massive financial loss just to escape the oppressive feeling. Later, through a local historian, we found out the dark truth: the house was built directly over an old, dried minus-up well and a site of a tragic fire decades ago where a family had perished. Take classic Feng Shui taboo known to cause extreme stagnation and financial ruin. Luna knew. She knew within 10 seconds what it took Mark 6 months of suffering and millions of dollars to realize. She felt the history of the land, the sorrow in the soil that was invisible to our eyes but deafening to her soul. So, how do you perform this test yourself? It is very simple, yet it requires you to trust intuition over intellect, biology over architecture. If you are looking for a new home to buy or rent, or if you just want to audit your current space to understand why you might be feeling stuck or drained, bring a cat. If you don't have one, borrow one from a friend, preferably a cat that is confident, well-traveled, and curious, not one that is too shy or timid, as you want a clear reading of the space, not the cat's anxiety. Watch its body language closely. This is your data. This is your spiritual inspection report. If the cat enters the house and immediately seems calm, you have found a gem. Watch for the specific good omen behaviors. Does the cat walk into the center of the room with its tail held high like an antenna? This signals confidence and ownership. Does it slowly blink at the room or at you? This slow blink is a sign of deep trust and relaxation. Does it rub its cheek against the door frames, the legs of the table, or the corners of the walls? This is a powerful sign. When a cat rubs its scent glands on the house, it is marking it, saying, "I claim this. This is safe. This is mine." It is harmonizing its energy with the house. The ultimate seal of approval is if the cat finds a spot, perhaps a patch of sunlight, on the rug or the middle of the sofa and lies down, exposing its belly, or perhaps even falling asleep or grooming itself. A cat will never, ever expose its vital organs, its belly, in a place where the energy feels predatory or unstable. If a cat sleeps peacefully in a house, it means the earth key is supportive, the magnetic field is balanced, and the emotional residue of the space is clean. If the cat gets the zoomies running around playfully, chasing invisible dust motes, jumping on furniture with abandon, this is also excellent. It means the energy is vibrant and flowing, not stagnant. It means the house is alive and ready to support life. However, you must trust the warnings. If the cat enters and immediately becomes tense, pay attention. If it freezes on the threshold and refuses to cross it, acting as if there is invisible wall blocking its path. If it stares fixedly at an empty corner or a specific spot on the ceiling for a long time, tracking something with its eyes that you cannot see, something that moves against the draft. If it hisses or growls at nothing. Or, most commonly, if it does a quick loop of the room and then stands by the door, scratching and meowing to get out, looking at you with desperate eyes. These are red flags. Do not ignore them. The cat is detecting killing energy. This could be something physical, like toxic mold growing behind the walls that hasn't manifested yet, or high electromagnetic radiation from nearby power lines or wiring faults, which cats are highly sensitive to. Or it could be something energetic, the heavy, dense vibration of sadness, anger, or violence left behind by previous owners. Cats are natural energy transmuters. They can clean negative energy, often acting as spiritual kidneys for their owners, but even they have a limit. If a cat rejects a house, it is because the toxic load is too high. It is an environment that drains life force rather than replenishing it. I have another client, a young woman named Sarah, who is a freelance artist. She was renting a very old, charming apartment in the city center. It was dark and a bit gloomy, with high ceilings and creaky floors, but it was cheap and had character. She had a ginger cat named Oliver, usually a lazy, happy boy. From the day they moved in, Oliver changed. He stopped playing. He stopped purring. He would stare at the corner of the bedroom every night at 3 a.m., his pupils dilated into black saucers, his body tense as a wire. He started over minus grooming, pulling his own fur out in clumps from his belly until he had raw bald patches. Sarah herself felt constantly drained, getting migraines every time she came home, and her creative inspiration completely dried up. She thought she was just depressed or burned out. I told her to trust Oliver. I told her, your cat is taking the hit for you. He is trying to process the bad energy in this place, but he is overwhelmed. He is sick because the house is sick. She hesitated, worried about the lease, but eventually moved out a month later to a smaller but sunny, airy apartment in a newer building. Within 2 days, literally 48 hours, Oliver's fur started growing back. He was playing with his toys again, and Sarah's migraines vanished as if they never existed. Her career took off shortly after. The apartment wasn't just dark, it was energetically toxic. The character of the old place was actually the residue of decades of stagnation. This brings us to a profound realization about our relationship with our homes. A house is not just a box we live in, it is an extension of our energy field. It is a second skin. When the Feng Shui is bad, it acts like a slow poison. It affects your sleep, your mood, your immune system, and your abundance. We humans often override our instincts because we want the deal, or we like the location, or we are desperate. We rationalize, oh, the rent is cheap, or the kitchen is huge, or I can fix the vibe with some paint and sage. We talk ourselves into bad situations. Animals do not rationalize. They do not care about the rent price or the granite countertops. They react. They survive. Their survival depends on being in places that support life. If a house does not support life, the cat will know first. So, I advise everyone the next time you are house hunting, don't just bring your measuring tape and your checklist. Bring a feel and consult it. If you are moving into a new place, try to bring a somewhat famous cat, meaning a cat known among your friends for its intelligence and spirit, to do the walkthrough with you. Think of the cat as your Geiger counter for vibes. If they settle in, if they make biscuits on the carpet, if they purr, you are home. You have found a sanctuary. If they run, if they hide, if they fight to leave, you run too. It is the cheapest, most effective, and most honest Feng Shui consultation you will ever get. Because in the world of invisible energy, the cat is the master, the guardian, and the seer, and we are just the blind students trying to see the light. Trust the whiskers. Trust the hiss. Most importantly, trust the peace of the sleeping cat.